Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to episode number 13 of Break It Down. We are coming off of the first ever two-night SummerSlam weekend, and we have a lot to talk about. There's a lot of things we have to break down, but before we do, introducing ourselves, my name, as always, is Dante.
My name's Kyle, the other Beatty, Kyle Beatty. Welcome back to the breakdown.
Welcome back to the breakdown. Yeah, we have a lot of stuff to talk about. We're not going to waste anybody's time with intros, nothing. You know who I am. You're going to find out quickly who Kyle is. He made his debut last week, so you guys are already quite familiar with Kyle. Don't have to introduce him. Let's jump into Kyle, the match that closed out SummerSlam weekend, the main event of the weekend. Cody Rhodes and John Cena facing off for the undisputed WWE Championship in a street fight. Now, what made this match so much more interesting going into this weekend, because there is already so much going into it. We talked about last week all the different possibilities of a double turn taking place. Is The Rock going to show up? Is Seth Rollins going to cash in his briefcase? And a few options were eliminated the night before, and we're going to get into that eventually. But one thing that happened before this match that really just turned everything sideways, in my opinion, was on Friday Night SmackDown. John Cena came out and basically ripped the Band-Aid off and was like, I'm sorry, guys, for the last few months. This story that we tried to put together didn't work. This isn't for me. We were chasing a huge TV moment, ratings, a pop, shock value, and they did. And then John Cena said when the dust settled, everyone went back home. And Cena was left alone with this character that he didn't know and he wasn't comfortable being. So John Cena is basically talking about his reputation for the last 25 years, forged a reputation off hard work, honesty, and respect. And he realizes that 5 months ago, he flushed it down the toilet chasing someone's idea to make shocking TV, like I mentioned. He says he wants to leave WWE with the title because he wants people to remember him with something. He says he doesn't hate wrestling, he doesn't want to ruin wrestling, he loves wrestling. So this is like, I'm watching this, Kyle, and I was texting you about this. I know you weren't able to watch it live.
Right.
To me, like hearing John Cena speak this and put this out there, you can tell the genuine emotion in his voice, and you could tell that that's a promo he's been wanting to cut for the last 5 to 6 months. He was playing a character he didn't want to play. He was out there being John Cena, telling the fans, you're getting the real John Cena this Sunday at SummerSlam. And boom, back to being a babyface, saying the only platinum rapper that's going to kick your ass is John Cena, which I thought was a nice cherry on top. But how did that I guess, promo change like your thought process going into this match before we jump into it? Because this turning into a babyface thing just threw me off completely as far as what's on the table and what we can do here. So what was your reaction to that?
Well, first of all, it hurts me because it hurts the legacy, I think, of John Cena, because he did want a heel run. He
Mm-hmm.
was in multiple interviews, like he was ready for it. He wanted to do it.
They made the gear for it years
They made
ago.
the gear. He had a song in the can, which I think was
Mm-hmm.
really just going back to word life. But I think that poor writing, poor creative, and The Rock coming in and forcing this idea and shoehorning Travis Scott in
For whatever reason.
for whatever reason.
No reason at
They
all.
didn't need the celebrity buy-in. They're
Mm-mm.
the WWE. They didn't need Travis Scott. They got the
Yep.
song, was the song of WrestleMania,
Fiend, whatever the
Fiend,
fuck. Yeah,
and I can go the rest of my life without hearing that song again.
I'm with you.
So it hurts that John Cena didn't get the heel run he wanted, because he did want one. But what's been great about this heel run is he has cut some great promos. And I think that promo totally made you think differently of what the match was going to be, right? Because he
Mm-hmm.
just came out and said, "This has been bad writing. This isn't where we need to be anymore. I'm
He was
back."
left high and dry.
Right. So I didn't quite know how the street fight was going to go, though, because I didn't think he was going to put his body on the line
You did say that last
to
week
come out
of
victorious. I
how
just did.
far he would push
He's
himself.
filming today. There's footage of him in New Jersey
God bless
filming
him.
today.
God bless him.
So
That's Superman right there.
right, which is also why the street fight. It was a great match. I think that might be a match of the year candidate for John Cena.
I think, hey, it might be crazy. It might be a hot take. I think that was John Cena's best match in almost 10 years.
That's fair.
Since like once he started slowly walking away from wrestling, which was like 2016, 2017,
Right.
matches with AJ Styles in 2016. Since then, I don't think he's had a match of that quality, at least to one that it blew our expectations out of
Right.
the water. I didn't
And
think I was going to be seeing John Cena doing all the shit that he did.
picking up the steps and all like that last night was a great dive into a match. But here's for as much good as it was,
Mm-hmm.
street fights. I
Yes.
remember when street fights were backstage,
Mm-hmm.
we're in a grocery store, we're at a
Yep.
supermarket.
Yep. Iconic.
Like
In the
there was
parking lot.
something to a street fight. That was like I don't know if that was as street fighty for me
Here's the thing,
as a
Kyle.
street fight.
What's the difference between a street fight, no holds barred, no disqualification, no count out? It's all the same shit. It's
That's
just
fair.
different name,
But
different names to it.
when you start setting the pedigree of certain street matches and certain
Hmm.
I don't know in
Well,
street fight matches, I don't know where that lives up. In
let's
terms of
jump.
John Cena's career, it's an all-timer.
I think him and Umaga, different. It was a last man standing match, a little bit, still an extreme match, whatever.
Right.
A match to that quality, like something we don't expect to see from John Cena is something where he is gonna go to pushing his limits in some sorts. And I compare that Umaga match because early on in his career, that was a match that really like we saw a side out of him that we didn't think we'd see. And last night we saw that side out of John Cena where I think too they wanted to prove us wrong because their WrestleMania match was an absolute stinker. All right. So let's jump into this match now. The babyface turn. The question was, is it real? Is it fake? It was a real thing because the other argument was, oh, he's doing this to lie. Then at SummerSlam, he's going to cheat to win, which would have been an insane move to pull if that was WWE. But the match itself, Kyle, I think I said probably John Cena's best match since his AJ Styles series. I maybe put a few matches in front of me that I'm not thinking of right now, but as far as memorable, like how memorable it was, the spots and the shock factor in the sense of him kicking out of moves, them both kicking out of moves. I was streaming last night. The amount of times I jumped out of my seat thinking that it
Right.
was going to be the end of the match. Cody's getting hit with avalanche AAs. They're, you talked about they didn't go backstage. They didn't show it, but they did go underneath the ramp for like
That's the best
30
spot.
seconds. That was a great shot of John Cena rising, rising. I for a second thought it was gonna be like The Rock or something. I thought they were
And
gonna
I
do
did
some.
too. And I was like, no.
I would have been a little upset if that
Yes.
happened. But
No, but that
great
was a great
spot.
spot.
They're doing the attitude adjustment on the stage. Cena's super avalanche. He's going through tables, kicking out of 3 AAs. This guy is getting hit. Cody Rhodes taking the ring apart, hitting him with the metal part.
Yeah.
John Cena is taking it. He is putting his body through shit that we haven't seen in so long. And at the end of it all, Cody Rhodes comes out on top after giving a little salute, a weird Cody cutter off
It
the
was a
top.
very weird, right? I'm
I
going to
it
acknowledge that.
it was I had to throw it out there. Listen, the ending is fine, but it could have been a better looking Cody cutter.
Sure.
One last crossroads, 1, 2, 3. No interferences, no rock, no shock, nothing, no heel turn. Even though there were a few times in the match, I thought, is this it? Is
They're
this it?
teased. So
They're
they're
teasing
teasing
it.
it.
But what
And
do you think? What like the match? What like the thoughts on the match and
I thought
what
the
we're gonna get
spots were
out of it?
phenomenal. I thought
Mhm.
what was great about Cody is when he took apart the ring and he's just looking at it and he drew that out and he milked that perfectly. So and that's a seed, right? Like I'm not always
Mhm.
going to be a good guy. Like it's I think
He was
these are
hesitating
those
at some moments too.
right.
He was double guessing himself.
You're clutching, double clutching, kind of
Yep.
thinking about it.
Mhm.
So they're definitely hinting this is coming. And I think it's because he's such over with kids that they don't want to break these like little kids' hearts
That's fair.
because he's got such a kid base. But
Mhm.
I mean the spot on the ramp coming up from underneath, the attitude
Money.
adjustments. I mean, these were spots that I don't. I mean, I really think this is the match of the year
Hmm.
for these two.
A
I mean,
match
it
of the
definitely
weekend,
blows away WrestleMania, like you said.
not even
This
close.
is so much better, and I think there's going to be two baby faces where there can only be one, and so that's what eventually breaks Cody. The
Hmm.
crowd flips, starts to love
They were
John
booing
Cena.
him.
Yeah,
They were booing him last night.
sure were,
They
because
were
they wanted
booing
him to
him.
come back as face. They didn't like heel Cena.
No, they've been the crowd has been pushing for babyface Cena to come back since WrestleMania, since he
Right.
won the damn belt. Yeah, I think for both of them, this was a match that they needed to redeem themselves, especially someone like Cody. I think because face of the company, you're looking at the WrestleMania match, like could be like a passing of the torch and win or lose. And to his, not to his fault, the way you have it end with the involvement and everything. Now you don't have Rock or Travis anywhere close to the story.
Right.
Have them go out there, do it clean, and even though there was no turn or anything like that, I think this win. I said last week there was no way Cody was going to lose this because I couldn't see a world where he went down 0-2 to Cena. Because in 5 months from now, Cena's going to be gone and Cody's still going to be there. You need to have him built up as that next John Cena, that pure white baby face. And seeing the result of the match and seeing them hug afterward, shake hands, Cena giving him the belt, I think that was a true passing of the torch moment. And as much as I would have liked to have seen heel Cody, we're going to get that at some point. I think this moment was more valuable than a heel Cody happening right now.
I agree.
That's my thoughts there. But um, then, oh my God, as the show is coming to an end, Cena is left in the ring, and we're getting the thank you Cena chant. Cena is kissing the mat. He's looking around like he's sad. And I'm saying to myself, he's got 4 more months. I don't know what the commotion. I know it's his last SummerSlam, but like we're gonna see you again
Right.
eventually. So in my head, I don't know what you're thinking watching this, but I'm like, okay, knowing WWE, they're not gonna go out on John Cena round of applause. Like something's gonna happen here. Something they're building up towards something. A return. Someone's gonna come out and attack Cena.
And they kept doing the angle.
They Kyle, it infuriates me because I just always expect something to happen when they cut the camera angle where it's the stage. You have the superstar and then the stage behind them, you have the screen so you can perfectly see when it changes and when someone comes out. They kept doing that. And as John Cena is walking out of the ring, camera cut to him. Brock Lesnar's music hits. The man that we haven't seen in 2 years.
Long hair
In
Brock.
he looked, the hair, the beard, he still looks as intimidating and as scary as ever. Comes out after Cody leaves. The last time he was in WWE, he put Cody over at SummerSlam. They had the 3 matches, and
Right.
Brock Lesnar raised Cody's hand 2 SummerSlams ago, but he wasn't there for Cody or the belt. He was there for John fucking Cena. Comes in, F5s him. That's how we close the show.
Where
I was
he's
speechless.
not the title holder. Where do you go from there?
I don't know.
And
I
why?
I don't know. I don't know what I don't know what the point of this is.
Right.
I don't care for Brock Lesnar anymore. In the year 2025, I don't care for him. He's been gone for 2 years. I think WWE has guys that have been able to fill in, step in his shoes, and take over that role. The Gunthers. Even you can talk about guys that you're building up. The Obafemis down in NXT. You have Bronson Reed, Braun Breaker. You have so many guys that can fill that role. Them bringing him back is just,
It's a nostalgic hit.
it's a nostalgic hit, but no one asked for it.
Correct.
Very few people. There are people. There, let me clarify this. There definitely are people that
Oh, it got
probably
a
would
pop.
want to see it got a pop, but I think the pop part of it was the fact that just a week ago we were told that he was on a ban list from TKO and UFC because of legal issues that shit that he's involved in right now.
Sure.
So the shock value. Now I'm did the live stream. There were 2 people in the chat all night that were saying rumors Brock Lesnar's coming back. Each time, Kyle, I said, "That's I don't know why you guys are talking about this. It's not
Right.
happening."
Well,
There was no
so
doubt in my
someone put
mind.
that in the chat, and I did respond with, they did release new Brock merch a few weeks ago.
But then that brings up another argument that I was seeing where he's been on the active profile list on the website, and like
Right.
every few weeks people are like, oh, he's been added, he's been added. Well, he's always been there. The merch stuff, I can't say the merch has always been there. They added new merch, but it's something where like that doesn't always mean that he's going to come back. That's not an indicator always.
No, but then when he does come back, you go, oh,
Now he comes back, and the first thing I
okay.
see is WWE shop promoting every new T-shirt, tank top, sweatshirt of his that he
So
has.
what we've learned is the WWE will fake an injury and they will lie to you about legal issues. Such a
Yeah,
good place for them to be in. That's
it's
really what you want out of your company.
it's
Faking
really
injuries and lying about legal limitations.
because then it gets into the whole Brock Lesnar thing of is he cleared, is he not cleared? And then we're talking about real life legal issues that is stuff that doesn't involve what's happening on TV. And it's like, should this guy even be here? Again,
Right.
he doesn't need to be in WWE. WWE doesn't need him. Bring him back is senseless. I don't think it makes sense. You're gonna have one last feud with Cena. Cena has 13 appearances left. Okay, we're gonna waste what 3 of them on Brock Lesnar. I'd rather waste those 3 on a not waste. I'd rather give those 3 to like young talent. Give him a
And I
match
don't
against.
quite know where that feud goes. Does it go to Paris?
It might.
Cena's
How
Cena's
long
promoted
is
for
Brock going to
Paris,
be
right?
around for? How long is Brock going to be around for? Is
Right.
this a one and done? Is this going to be a long term thing? Like, I don't know. And then after the show, Triple H, get this too, guys. The day before Brock Lesnar returns, Triple H and TKO announced they will no longer be doing post show press conferences for the foreseeable future. I wonder why. I wonder why they're not doing them anymore because Triple H would have been fucking grilled over this shit, rightfully so. And he would have had to answer some tough questions that clearly he doesn't want to answer. He says on the post show, which is controlled now, it's just a panel. They get to say what they want.
Right.
He said this is what John Cena wants. He said John Cena wanted Brock Lesnar. Oh, I don't like you're putting it on Cena now. You're putting all
Well,
of
we'll
this
find
on
about it in a few months when it's on Unreal.
dude, but it's like I'm sure. Okay, John Cena did definitely give a list of people he'd like to go up
Sure.
against. Hypotheticals. Was Brock Lesnar on that list? I wouldn't be surprised of that, 100%. But I don't know if I believe that John Cena was the driving force of Brock Lesnar coming back after not being on screen for 2 years amid a very serious legal lawsuit that involves the chairman, owner of the company that is blacklisted from the company.
Right.
That's an
But
issue.
but why can't Cena just pick someone and put someone over and go out these last 13
And
dates,
that's why
putting
I don't think it's fully him. That's like he's the reason why Brock is back.
I
I,
don't know. He could have said, "Hey,"
maybe.
he could have said, "Listen, I trusted y'all. I did
Hmm.
this heel run.
He's a company
Somehow
man.
got Dwayne involved,
Hmm.
and I got Travis Scott out here popping eardrums.
Yeah.
So no, I won't let y'all dictate my last 13. Here's who
Hmm.
it's going to be. Y'all tried and failed. It's now Brock. Give me Brock. Let's get some pop back in this thing. And
Hmm.
then I'll put people out and put people over on my way out the door."
Now people are talking about he turned face for this feud. Like, now that's the reason I'm not looking into it that way. Like, obviously, they're doing Cena Brock. People are going to be so over for Cena,
Right.
and like in that case, you get that pop. But
Oh,
yeah,
he had, when his graphics went blue last night, that I think there's no roof on the building, but
it would have blown off.
it popped.
Hmm.
And it was here
100%.
it was hard to hear a pop because it being open roofed,
Yeah.
open aired. So it was hard to hear a pop, but that you could hear that.
It's gonna be a big money match. It's Brock Lesnar versus John Cena on paper. What they're gonna give us in 2025, I don't know. All I do know is that I truly don't care for Brock Lesnar in WWE in 2025. Like,
We got enough big people.
how many times are we gonna see a Brock Lesnar return? And like, it's not like he's here to put someone over. It's for a nostalgia match, and it's no. Out of all the matches, I can't imagine that out of all the feuds and matches of this entire run, Brock Lesnar's is going to end up being towards the top of most memorable. I don't care for this. We'll see where it goes, but you brought this up, Kyle, about WWE and what they're doing right now as far as lawsuits, lying about lawsuits and injuries. You, my friend, are currently dressed as, and I say dress very well, as LA Knight. And I know I'm not the first person to tell you that.
Well, then let me talk to you. If we're going to
The
talk
floor
about
is
this for a
yours.
second.
Please, the floor is yours.
You take, and let me start by saying we have a great U.S. champion right now, and we've had the last two have been great, but LA Knight was a fantastic U.S. champ, a
Yeah.
fantastic title holder.
Yeah.
He gets great returns. His pops are great, and I think genuine, which that doesn't mean he had no one pushing him through. So
Mhm.
Seth Rollins steps into a ring with LA Knight, yeah, and he decides to flip over, falls faintly on the knee, and we're told it's a real injury.
Mhm. Yeah, we were at
LA
All In.
Knight in the
We were
middle
at
of that
All
ring
In.
looked flabbergasted.
Yep.
It was. Yep,
Mhm.
you're absolutely right.
We found out afterwards.
And you watch that, and LA Knight is confused, doesn't know what's going on. He wasn't previously working a knee, working a
Yep.
leg. It
Yep.
just kind of happened. You hate to see it.
And he has
But
a
you don't want
history.
to
He
comment
has a
on it.
history of knee injuries too.
He does.
So it's believable.
And it happened before doing the same
Same
move.
exact thing. Yep.
So you go, man, that sucks.
Mm.
Like he had a good run. You feel bad for a guy. You have a little bit of sympathy, even though he might not be the guy you root for.
Sure.
So then
Great
last
points.
night, we've all seen that match. So
that
then,
match.
At the end of night one,
Yes.
you've had the championship belt now move from Gunther to Jay to Gunther to CM Punk,
Yep.
who I think deserved it.
100%.
But
No
this
doubt.
is 4 changes now since WrestleMania. Hold
That's
on,
a
is this
lot.
working? 4 changes since WrestleMania.
Mhm.
And you go, that's great. This is going to be a great feud. Great. CM Punk's going to have it. And when Seth comes back, we can have this end of this long feud that dates back to December of 2013.
Yep. Yep.
You're
Long
like, oh,
feud.
we're going out on a good note. This is great. The first and only title holder of only AEW and the
Yeah.
WWE
After. Yep. Big time.
hoisting the belt up.
Who would have thought?
Who would've
Also,
thunk it?
may I add, sick gear. The Fantastic Four gear.
Oh, it was incredible.
Unbelievable.
The 4 stars.
I'm not ranking anything right now, but eye test from what I see, maybe it's recency bias. That's in the upper echelon of CM Punk gear. He's had
that
some
might, yeah. I'll
fire
give you
gear.
top.
It's up there. It's up there.
But what they did to end Saturday night was a disservice to LA Knight. It's dishonorable.
No.
I mean, there should be laws against it. Seth Rollins comes out on crutches, and you go, "Oh, he's cutting a promo. Fantastic.
He's showing everyone that, hey, I'm still here. I'm hurt, but I still
I'm
got
coming
the
for you."
briefcase.
Blah 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 blah.
Yep.
You think it's over. He drops the crutches, runs down the ramp with a knee injury.
Nothing
runs
wrong.
down the ramp.
Like nothing happened.
Nothing happens, and decimates CM Punk with the briefcase, cashes in, and pins. That's like going to a scary movie and it waking up in the ending, it's just a dream. Oh. Why? That's lazy writing. You didn't make me think at all during this. What you made me think is that CM Punk is hurt and I should feel bad for him because you told me it was real. You told me it was real.
And Seth,
he went on the Jim, what's not the Rich Eisen show?
Yeah, Rich. Yeah. And
wherever you can find that vehicle, he went on the Rich Eisen show, told everyone it's real.
Yep. Walking on crutches. Becky Lynch was taking videos of him with their kid. He was on crutches.
She's on in social media saying, "Don't believe what you see on TV." Well, now I have a few questions.
Also, he has a wrestling school, and he was hurt at the wrestling school, so he couldn't train with his students. That's something else that's being thrown around the internet, supposedly. Do you have anything else you
Here's
want to add? Because please exhaust, get
I
everything
I
out,
I will
please.
finish on this, and
Okay.
it's exhausting, but
No,
it is
I
this.
want you to
There
keep
is a
going.
thin veil of what I am led to believe.
Mhm.
You've given me now Unreal. You've given me
Yes.
all of this social media. You're giving me all of this access.
Yep.
At least let's not be flubbing and storylining lawsuits and medical records. That just seems like bad practice,
Yeah.
and where there's a gray line that things can be a little, oh, we just told you he had a concussion. He didn't really have a concussion.
Yeah, and they do there have been
Meanwhile, fast
times
forward.
in the past where, in the ring, if there's an actual injury, you throw up the X, right?
Right.
And that's usually like you do that, there's a serious injury. There have been
True.
times I wish I could give you a top of my head, but I know for a fact in the past, in the last few years, they've done that, and it wasn't an actual serious injury. I think they maybe it was Randy Orton. We got pile drive. I forget what it was, but listen,
Yeah.
listen, Kyle, with
Here's
Unreal
my thing.
coming
I'm
out,
okay with this because if everyone knows the code and you're trying to play that off, that's
sure,
fine. But if
sure,
you're going to
everyone
come
knows
off in
beforehand.
newsrooms
Mhm.
and go on interviews and hosting things like, no, this is a legit interview. Like this is a legit
Yep.
injury. That should
Yeah.
be a little bit like, okay, I don't know. It feels like there's gray area that could get people in trouble at some
Yeah.
point.
I loved it. I thought Seth Rollins faking the injury throughout all of this is money. Let's strip away the moral part of it. Let's strip away the leaving people in the dust. Let's strip away the all that shit, and let's just look at it from an entertainment TV factor of this guy played us for a month saying that. And listen, believe what you want to believe, but Seth Rollins not coming on TV and them not doing an actual segment talking about him being out for the foreseeable future, I think was the giveaway that he was going to cash in this weekend. I I'll say it. I said last week, I thought it was more likely, or I would have preferred him to cash in during the Cena Cody match, because I think that would have caused a stir. I think that would have been, you can write a whole new story there. And I gave my points of why Seth Rollins should be in that picture. But I see where there are issues in the sense of if LA Knight was left in the dark about this. That's something that we're gonna find in season 2 of Unreal whenever that comes out. I will not watch season 1. I am not about that stuff. Me and you had to talk about that a few weeks ago before it came out. Um, I'm not into breaking the fourth wall in the sense of how they are with that show, but since that show's been out, I'm led to believe that we are going to be seeing more stuff like Seth Rollins in this injury, John Cena in this babyface like with Unreal being out, like, and John Cena coming out a few nights later and saying what he did and just basically being like, yeah, this character sucks. I'm going back to being me. Unreal, I think, is opening the door to all of that. Them signing with Netflix is opening the door to all of that. And this is of who knows what's real and what's like who knew what, who didn't, right? I like to think that LA Knight was in the mix. He was aware of what was going on. I can't prove that. That's just an opinion. What I do think is unfair and sucks for him is if that's the case, he was supposed to go up against Seth Rollins at SummerSlam, right? All right, like that's what everyone was thinking. He's in this big feud with him. He did get the win at Saturday Night Main Event, but it was a cheap win. Seth got hurt, and since then, what have they done with him? They didn't put him in another program. They didn't put him anywhere else. Where and there is a few other people that got left off the card that I like, Penta being another big name, I think, being left
Right.
off the card. If you would think about where he was at a few months ago at WrestleMania, if you told me he was going to be left off the SummerSlam card, I would be surprised. I'm surprised he got left off too. But someone like LA Knight is this guy that is just right on the cusp of being a main eventer. Like he's above mid card, but he's not in the main event yet because
Right.
WWE hasn't given him that opportunity. And moving him over to Raw, putting him in this feud with Seth, that's how you do that. You put him in these feuds. You
Exactly.
put him up against these big name opponents. And whether he was in on it or not, him losing that opportunity to tell this other story, which I do like. people are complaining about CM Punk, Seth Rollins being dragged on. Like it's been being told for a while, but I still am invested in the story, so I don't mind it. I don't mind the story continuing. I don't think it's going to go on for another year, but I'm okay with that. But I think with everything, Seth Rollins cashing in was it was just such a shocking moment, and the him putting the crutches to the side. I'm thinking he's just showing face. He's gonna shock us all,
Sure.
show up tomorrow and cash in, be like, "Oh, I'm out." But then he's gonna surprise everyone, like what Naomi did, telling Tiffany and Jade, "I'm gonna cash in on you," then cashes in on Io and Ripley.
Right.
Um, and we didn't get that. I loved it. I'm excited of like what we do now with Gunther because if we want to jump into that match after
Eh,
this, we can.
Yeah, let's do that.
I'm excited to see what happens next for these guys that were involved in all of this.
Yeah, I mean, I just thought it finished off a match that saw Gunther tear apart CM Punk's chest
That was a 5-star beatdown.
in a manner I don't think I've seen chops handled to a person and the way Punk took every single one of them.
At the end, it looked like he had a fucking bullet wound in his chest. There was a
There
fucking
was
big blood
blood.
spot.
There was blood and then there wasn't blood and then there was
Hmm.
and I don't know how he
Old,
ripped him open,
old
but
man Punk took a beating.
wow.
He took a fucking beating,
It
and it was awesome.
it was phenomenal. It was like
So
it was
good.
an old school battle.
An old school Rocky movie. That's what it felt like. It felt like a fucking Rocky movie.
And the whole time I'm watching Punk just get decimated, I'm like, they're beating him down so that he can come back and have the whole finishing sequence, like that
Hmm.
whole like sudden burst. And I knew it. I knew I was sitting there going, he's gonna come out and cash. Just because he was getting
You knew
obliterated.
once the match was over. I was waiting
Yeah, he
for a
was just
time where
so
they were both
beaten.
down. They were both down on the ground, and someone would come in.
Yeah,
It was just it's impressive because again, CM Punk is he's an old man. He's 46. Okay,
right.
a 46-year-old's body does not move as well as someone that's 10 years younger, and also different, much more stiff style of wrestling that Gunther provides. CM Punk being able to sell that, put on that performance, and consistently. I want like honestly like since CM Punk's been back, like we look at his body of work, these big matches, he always delivers. You can
Yeah,
count on him to always deliver. This match, bro, even in loss, Gunther looked like a million fucking bucks. Him getting hit with the first GTS, doing the Triple H cell where he's fucking trying to
on
catch
his feet.
himself on his feet. Second one, you had to kill him. The blood, he bladed himself. Thank you, Triple H. That's the best thing you did this weekend was allowing Gunther to blade himself because that's like what. How is it possible for Punk to beat Gunther after all that? How can he do that? Make him bleed.
An
That is
excessive blade.
excessively. I loved it. I fucking loved it. And just the moment itself of CM Punk winning the championship because just the thought of CM Punk holding a world championship in WWE in 2025, 12 years after everything that happened, his falling out with the company. That's wrestling. Like that's something you can't experience anywhere else. Like that is a feeling that you get watching wrestling. And his reaction, like his emotion, it was that was powerful. Like that was such a cool thing to see someone like me growing up watching Punk. Like that was when
Right.
I started watching in 2006, 2007. I know we had history in Ring of Honor before, but that's when he was just starting in WWE. So it's like I watched him grow in WWE. I watched the fallout. I watched him go to AEW, come back to WWE. So like as someone that's been watching him for his entire WWE career, watching that, I want to say full circle moment, but getting to that point, him getting to the mountaintop, whether it was 5 minutes or however long, that was really cool to see. So I'm really glad Punk got that moment. But Seth Rollins cashing in after all that was poetic.
I'm glad you liked it. And I know there's obviously a bunch of people. I just thought it could have been
Of
told
course.
more creatively.
Of course. And listen, I get the downside of it too, of like, we've been doing this for the last 2 years almost now, Rollins and Punk, and it's like the story is going to be extended longer. I don't think we're going to be getting much of Punk Raw. Like, I don't think this is going to be a dragged out feud for long. I think this is a stepping stone for Seth Rollins and what he has going with his group. All I'm saying right now, before we move on to the rest of the matches, we cover the rest of them. Sami Zayn. I think that's the guy to watch in 2026. Seth Rollins and Sami Zayn, I think, is the next big story.
Can we talk about the flop of the night for me for night one?
I think I already know what the flop of the night for you is, and it's going to be an amazing segue.
Can we talk about Karrion Kross and Sami Zayn?
Not good. It was terrible.
I
It was
mean,
awful. It was terrible. You know what made it worse too is that
that I had high hopes for it, and I
Well-
sat down and I planned my Saturday night meal
and
around Karrion
I
Kross,
didn't go to the bathroom during this match.
and
Listen,
I sat there and I got blue balled. Yeah, let's talk about it for a second.
let's talk about how we all got blue balls on Saturday night.
Karrion Kross comes out to what I thought
Great
the
entrance.
pop of the night.
He has a great entrance too.
Fantastic entrance. Came out to a fantastic pop. Gets Sami Zayn took a suplex to what I could only say is dropped him on his head. So
Sure.
that was a weird, that was a bad bump.
The moves weren't delivered well, some of them.
Right. And so it was just
No.
kind of those matches where you just saw bumps and you were like, okay.
They're telling the
Then
story.
They were
They're
telling
the story, but everything else that came with it was ass.
So Sami Zayn has the pipe.
Yes, he
You
did.
think he's going to do it. And you're
Oh,
like,
Sammy,
here's where we get interesting.
And then
Throws the pipe away. And then I would love to see the replay on your stream, because then it kind of just ends.
Yeah. Yeah, they just kind of finish things up after
Like,
that.
it was, okay. And so we say watch out for Sami Zayn, but that match kind of just left me like in a, yeah.
I think, let me tell you something. I think Sami Zayn is going to be far removed from Karrion Kross from this point forward. One, because the feud's over, and two, I think Karrion Kross, I think he's out of the company, honestly.
Well, and I thought about that too after that weird finish, and because you mentioned it last week. You said he's in a weird contract negotiation.
Yeah,
I didn't know that. So once that finished weird, I was like, oh, okay.
The match was 8 minutes long.
And it really didn't even need to happen. It was a TV show.
This was a match that we've seen multiple times before. Didn't need to happen. And you're right. It ended so anticlimactically. It felt like we were getting somewhere with the inclusion of the pipe, Sammy doing his thing. No. The stipulation was if Cross won, Zayn would have to admit that Cross was right and Zayn was not a good person. If Zayn won, Cross had to admit he was wrong about Zayn. Right. They didn't do that at all after it. They didn't do that segment at all. They showed Sami Zayn looking at him going, we're done. Yeah. And Karrion Kross is like, okay. And that was it. So you don't even follow up with the dumbass stipulation. That it was a dumbass stipulation. It wasn't even a stipulation. You didn't do anything with it. I think this literally was like, get this done with, put it on the SummerSlam card so it's like the official end to it. I can't think of any other reason why this was on the card. It was not good. It was not good.
I agree. It left me with just a blanket, just where do we go from
wet
here?
Blanket, nothing to do with it. Yep. Now I think Sami Zayn just gets right back into the Seth Rollins story, helps Punk out. Maybe LA Knight gets involved in that picture now. I think that's where the direction of Raw is going to be heading moving forward. But we shall see. All right, the next match I guess we can talk about. We won't talk about in depth about every single match because some of these matches we don't really need crazy notes for. But Roman Reigns and Jey Uso defeating Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed. That opened up night one, which honestly, great decision. Heck of an opener. You needed to do that because the other four matches, no one cared nearly enough about as the CM Punk and this match. But Jey Uso, Roman Reigns, they win. Jey Uso pinned Bronson Reed. He speared him. which was enough to leave him down for a splash. Sure. Roman Reigns looked great. I mean, every time he wrestles, he's in great shape. He did some fucking shit that we haven't seen in a while. He was throwing his body around. He fucking leaped over the top rope and almost
Some
broke
acrobatics.
his neck. Almost broke his fucking neck. I mean, the guy can still do crazy shit like that. Very impressive to see from him. And yeah, I mean, it was a good match. It was a good opener. I don't really have many notes of like, what happened during. There was a lot of sacrifice. Roman helped Jay out a lot, moving him out of the way for certain moves, taking the spear from Braun Breaker. Braun Breaker, his spray tan was going all over the place. It's Bronson Reed has the shoes. He took Roman Reigns' shoes on
That
Raw
was
last
good.
week, so he's the shoe collector now. I fuck with that a lot. I think that's a really creative gimmick. And yeah, I thought it was a great opener. But
If I
now,
would have told you a couple of years ago that Jey Uso would have an entrance comparable to the original tribal chief,
now, one question I have for you about this entrance: what are your thoughts on them running it back during the match?
I'm not a mid-match music guy.
The first time they did it, I
I feel
thought it
like
was
a boomer.
hilarious.
I feel
No,
like a boomer.
you're not. You're not. Because the first time they did it was funny. I'll admit it was pretty funny. When you're doing it on a SummerSlam match, which you just started a minute ago, you knock everyone out of the ring. Like, this is supposed to be a big match feel, and we're yeeting after the bell already rings. I could have done without that. I don't want to be the guy be like, oh, that sucks. I want to be screaming into the sky and being like, they shouldn't be doing this. It's stupid. They're probably going to do it a million more times in the future, and that's fine. But in big matches like that, I'm cool with them doing
Yeah,
it.
TV, cool. If we're in
Kids
Ames,
love it.
Iowa, yeah, run it back. But if we're on SmackDown, I mean, if we're on SummerSlam,
Mhm.
if we're on a PLE, why don't we just keep the entrance as the entrance?
Yeah, you already had the entrance. It was already a big one. You and Roman got your things out of the way. Let's move on from it. And he got the pin, so we heard the theme song again to close out the
Cool.
match. So we didn't need all that. The next tag team match. Do you have anything else you want to add about this match, Kyle?
No, I thought
Before,
that was just a regular clean match. I thought it was
yeah,
high energy, lulled a little bit in the middle,
yep,
but it came back at the end. So I thought it was a good match. I thought even Bronson Reed getting a little crazy, jumping through the ropes.
yeah,
Uh,
yeah.
so yeah, no, I thought it was a really good opening act.
The next match after that, it was Charlotte Flair and Alexa Bliss. They defeated the Judgment Day. Raquel
Didn't see it
Rodriguez
coming.
and Roxanne did not see it coming to become the new women's tag team champions. I predicted Judgment Day to win because I thought they were having a good run with the belts. It's just one of those situations where you don't need to change anything up. Everything's going great. But Charlotte and Alexa, I mean, they have a good story going right now. Charlotte Flair is Charlotte Flair. Alexa Bliss is Alexa Bliss, and it seems like they're enjoying it. Charlotte Flair said many times during interviews like this is the most fun she's had in a long time. So they're putting it together, they're making it work, and it was a little weird at first, but obviously WWE's going all in on them, and they get some big names holding the belt. So I guess that it could be a good thing for the women's tag belts.
Yeah, for me, I like you went with Judgment Day. I didn't think that it made sense to move the belts with
Hmm.
Liv Morgan's absence, but it also doesn't hurt with the belts on the move. You give 2 stars title credentials.
Right.
Liv Morgan can come back and now take back the belts that she's rightfully earned,
Absolutely.
or Liv Morgan comes back with higher aspirations and goes for bigger dreams.
Could
So
happen.
there's just I think this it didn't hurt, and it makes sense that this could go multiple directions with Liv Morgan's return. So it didn't hurt anybody with the loss.
Absolutely. Yeah. I think this was one of those situations where whoever wins, that's it's fine. And if you like, the Judgment Day is gonna be fine. They have they take up most of the time on Raw on Netflix anyway, so they'll find something else for them to do in the meantime. Liv
And it's
Morgan, I don't know when she's coming back. I don't know how many more months she has left, but I'm thinking like you're talking about what she has next planned for her. I would love to see her come back and win the Royal Rumble, honestly. And I mean, I don't know if she's gonna be out for that long, but she's been in second place like 2 of the last 3 years, 2 of the last 4 years. I think that would be a good place for kind of position her back into that main event scene. You know
that
what I
would be
mean?
such a gap because I think
It's a gap. I
I
think
think
there
she
is
comes
time
back
in
in
between.
Paris.
I think I don't know how quick. I think the initial diagnosis was like 4 to 6 months, but I
And
don't know.
that was how long ago? That was a couple months ago?
A month or 2 a month ago, because on the graphic it said Roxanne was women's champ for 30 something days. So
See,
probably like a month and a half.
this is the Pandora's box that the WWE has opened.
How injured is she? Is
Seth
she gonna be
Rollins'
out?
knee, and
Mhm.
now this, and that's probably why. You know what?
I
It's
had people in my chat that were wondering if she was gonna return at SummerSlam during, like, the
right.
Dawn match or something. Like, I don't know where her timeline is, but yeah, we'll see whenever she comes back. But the Judgment Day no longer have the women's belts. We'll see how that plays into what they do moving forward. And then the last two matches from night one, we can kind of, I mean, we can kind of breeze through these. Tiffany Stratton defeated Jade Cargill. Not a bad match. It was only 7 minutes, and just I fell flat because of how short it was. It was fine for like what we saw in that short amount
Right.
of time, but like I my expectations were a lot higher.
I thought it was going to have a longer run time, but I thought Tiffany Stratton proved herself with the obviously overpowering Jade Cargill.
Yeah,
So
she clearly is the better wrestler.
yeah,
Clearly showed that.
I just think that Tiffany pulling that out and being able to get through that match, I think it at least adds a layer of legitimacy to her championship, and also I think it sets Jade up for a run soon.
I mean, in the last year, almost like a little bit over a year, Tiffany's won Money in the Bank, cashed in, has had multiple defenses against Nia Jax, defeated Charlotte at WrestleMania, Trish Stratus at Evolution, and a win over Jade Cargill. And like the wins over Charlotte and Jade, I think she was the underdog in those matches because I would
She's
have
been the
thought,
underdog, yeah.
especially at WrestleMania against Charlotte, like I was all for, I was fully convinced Charlotte was going to win it. She won the Royal Rumble. It's Charlotte Flair. And at SummerSlam, Queen of the Ring winner, Jade Cargill, getting her title match. I just seemed like the perfect storm for her to win it there. But WWE obviously has a lot invested into Tiffany Stratton, and they are giving her one hell of a title reign. And it's not like I'm cool with her holding on to it longer because she's great. Like she is a great wrestler and she is having a
Right.
good reign. I do would like to see her become a heel again soon. I would like to see her character, change up a little bit, but I'm fine with the reign. It's been great, and she proved herself as the better wrestler of that match, so she deserved to win.
And now to the match of the night.
Yeah,
It blew
so
my mind, and it gave it, I had low expectations.
I had very low expectations going into this match, and that's why I'm not like hard on it because I thought it was better than what I expected it to be. Drew McIntyre and Logan Paul defeated Randy Orton and Jelly Roll. They defeated them. That was the shocking thing. I actually thought Randy and Jelly Roll were going to get the win there. I guess it was a last minute decision going into the night. I guess it was supposed to be Jelly Roll and Randy getting the win, and they changed it. Don't know why, but Jelly Roll, he did okay.
He did
He did all
great.
right. He took some bumps. He took a big bump from
He took the
fucking
bump of the
Logan
night.
Paul. He did take the bump of the night. He sold it well. He he what I watched and what I saw, not everything he did was perfect, and
No.
that's you can't have that expectation.
Why would yeah,
That's
right.
ridiculous to have for his lack of experience. But for as much time as he put in, you can tell that he put in the time and effort. You can tell that he trained for this, and he did everything that he did in that ring to the best of his capabilities. And I give him all the respect in the world because there are a lot of other celebrities that step in and half-ass it and don't put on the performance that he did.
Yeah, and they're
For
super
him,
stiff.
and he was getting some, it seemed like he was getting hit hard too. Like Drew
Yeah.
McIntyre was hitting him a little bit. Like he's paying his dues. That table spot from Logan Paul, God bless him. Not even some WWE superstars don't take those spots. And then at the end, he took another splash to take the pin from Logan Paul.
Yeah.
Jelly Roll proved himself. I don't think I think he'll definitely be around longer. I think WWE loves this
I
guy.
think he's coming. I
They
think
were
that's
doing
why he put so much work in.
all interviews. They were doing all this documentary shit. Like they want to keep him around. And
Yeah.
he's listen, the crowd loved him. He respects the business. He was at NXT last week. He was doing I appreciate what he did and how much effort he put into it. I really do.
Yeah, and I love the entrance. I saw some people
Mhm.
giving the Toby Keith entrance a little bit of grief,
I do
but
think the New Jersey crowd needs to get called out on for their half-assing of Randy Orton's theme song. Them not
Good
singing
call.
along to that song to a way that every other crowd does was blasphemous.
And
That
you
they
could
should have
tell
been
he noticed it
oh,
too.
he fucking knew. He was looking around, he was disappointed.
Yeah.
They sang a little bit of the chorus, they picked it up, but come on. Come on, guys. That's a disappointing entrance from New Jersey.
Yeah, it's just and I wonder if some of it was because it wasn't an enclosed arena. I wonder if some of it was just
Maybe you couldn't hear it as
you
well.
just couldn't hear it as well
Maybe. But
because
why could we hear them singing during the chorus better than other parts?
yeah, good
You know
point.
what I mean? I don't know. I don't know. I like to blame the crowd. New Jersey isn't the best place ever anyway, so I like to blame New
Woke up
Jersey.
this morning. Sorry.
Got some gabagool. All right. So we're moving on to night two. We'll have a few matches to talk about here, and then we'll kind of give our closing thoughts, all that stuff. So opening up night two was another women's triple threat match, just like WrestleMania night two, SummerSlam night two got Rhea Ripley, Io Sky, and Naomi. Naomi got the win, rolling up Rhea Ripley. And I thought this was a really fun match. I try not to compare it to the WrestleMania match because it was Bianca was in the first one, Naomi was in this one, and Naomi's character of being that shitty little heel that was like trying to come in and get those sneak pins and stuff like that. People were complaining I saw of the ending and stuff online. I thought it was great because it fits Naomi's character perfectly. Her getting the roll up of Rhea at when she was trying to pin Io. All three superstars looked fantastic. I was convinced that Rhea Ripley was going to win at one point. I just thought that was they're going to give her the big win at SummerSlam. But I am thrilled Naomi won. She should have won. That was the right decision. Keep that reign going because it would have been a shame if it was just a cash in reign. You cash it in, only have the belt until your first defense, and you lose it.
Yeah, the superstar entrance gave me a little bit of worry.
That when you get an entrance like that, most of the time I feel like you are losing.
Yeah, when you get
And
your dad playing out your entrance,
which was very cool. That was a
very
very
cool,
cool
super cool.
entrance. Yeah,
Who wouldn't want that?
absolutely.
I just was like, that gave me a little bit of pause. And then, but I think I think they are the three most entertaining right now. Their matches have just evolution. Everything has been just so exciting and
Yeah,
every sequence has been just something you want to see and you want to watch back. I think they might be the three most watched right now.
yeah, absolutely. As far as hype around them in the women's division, Rhea Ripley's always going to be up there as far as popularity. I think Io Sky is one of the best wrestlers in the company, period,
So,
man or woman.
I don't know if you noticed this, but Naomi bites Rhea's thumb, right?
Yes.
A couple sequences later, it looks like Rhea, I don't know if it was a kick, but there was something to Naomi that looked almost like a receipt.
Mm,
Like that was a little bit too
mm.
hard.
Bit a
And I
little
don't know
bit a
if you
little too
caught
hard.
that, but if you go
I
back
don't
and
know
take
if
a
I
look,
did.
I'd like your opinion on it because it
All
looked
right.
I stood out to me like a ooh, that kind of stood out. So
Interesting. Yeah, put in the comments anyone that's watching right now if you noticed that. I'll have to watch that back. I don't think I did. But hey, I mean, if I got bit hard in the thumb, you see some teeth marks, you see a
yeah,
little blood, not going to feel good and be like, "Hey, don't do that next time."
but I think the crowd wants Rhea and Io. I think that's what we're really teasing up for.
Again, for like the sick. I mean, the thing is
It's
they
because of
fought so many
the
times, but they're
numbers.
so good.
They're
It's
so
but
good, and the matches have been really good.
every time they deliver on a like, and I'm not saying each match is better than the last, but each time they deliver. That's not they don't put out bad matches together. Yeah, I mean, I think eventually Rhea's going to be the champ again. She hasn't been the champ for too long, I think, in Triple H's eyes. So that's going to have to change
You think it
soon.
goes back to Rhea?
I mean, Naomi's the one that pinned Rhea, so I think that's going to continue. And if
Okay.
Rhea and Naomi she gets her one on one, I think that's a matchup Rhea could win.
I think Io sneakily slippery somehow itches out gets the belt back.
And you know what?
That's my
I'd prefer that. Anytime Io Sky can come in the mix and she disrupts those plans, I'm down for it. So, yeah, we'll see what happens next. The Clash in Paris. Well, we're actually going to get Naomi and Stephanie Vaquer at Clash in Paris. That's the next
that's
matchup
right.
because Stephanie won the Battle Royal. If WWE wanted to just rip the Band-Aid off, be like, fuck it, we're going all in on Stephanie, they could just have her beat Naomi there.
Yeah. Good point.
It's a shock.
totally
It's a
forgot about
shock
that.
title win, but like, if anyone's gonna, I think Stephanie is the candidate to do that for sure.
Agreed.
I totally forgot about that too. All right, yeah, that's something we're gonna keep an eye out now. That's definitely gonna be the feud we're gonna have to watch. Okay, finishing out the card. Wyatt 6 beat. All right, let's see all the teams we have here: Andrade, Ray Phoenix, DIY, Frax, the Emergency Machine Guns, and the Street Profits in a 6-team TLC match. This was all over the place. This was hectic. We had big spot after big spot. Champa was hanging from the top, was going to get speared,
What a
lift
spot.
himself up, hanging upside down. I'm like, oh my God, I'd be shitting my pants right now if I was him. Like, that is, you're so high up. That is incredible. Candice LeRae coming in, getting pushed off the ladder into the other ladder.
Through the ladders.
That may have been the spot of the night. That was a crazy fucking spot. Then they did the 4-sided ones where it was the splashes, the leg drop, and then they did the Spanish fly to Dawkins
Should have
onto the
ended it.
table. That was insane. That was an insane spot. All 4 at the end, the Wyatt 6 to retain, which, I mean, the odds were stacked against them. The percent that was not looking good for them. The match was great. Match was so good. The ending I thought was very slow, and for a TLC match didn't flow right. But I still love the match, and I'm okay with the Wyatt 6 winning because I want them to be legit and people to care about them. And Kyle's coughing. Had to cover that up.
Sorry.
No, you're good.
I agree. Actually, I agree. I thought the sunset flip should have been the ending, but we've got haunted house tickets that we need to sell. So the Wyatt 6 is back in the house.
Yeah.
So yeah, I agree with you. I thought the ending was a little slow. I thought it was a great match overall.
100%.
But
When you have 12 guys in there for a TLC match, I mean, I do think this could they have had less teams in there? I think they could have. I think, but the only way to find out is if 12 people is too much is by putting 12 guys in there.
Sure.
So,
and I thought it was great. I didn't.
I think it was great.
I
think it was great. My only thing though is I mentioned this a few times is if you have that many people in the match, you need to constantly have things going on because there are some points, especially early on, where like it was just focused on what was going on in ring, and it felt like everyone was like lying around outside, and it's just like in that case, you need to be constantly doing stuff because you can't just be wasting all these people. But match was still great. I'm not trying to complain about it. And Wyatt 6, still the tag team champs. The next 3 matches, all mid-card matches. Becky Lynch defeating Lyra in a no DQ. This was a banger. Becky won. Lyra can no longer challenge for the title as long as Lynch is champion. Bayley got involved, which I don't think anyone should really be surprised about that. She accidentally hit Lyra at the end, which caused Becky to pin her. So now Lyra cannot challenge anymore. Some great spots. I mean, this match was great, but great callbacks. Lyra had the zip ties on her hand, which were very loose, and there were some camera shots where you can clearly see that she could take her hand out. In fact, at one point, her hand did come out, and I was like, that looked like her hand came out, and she just put it right back in.
So much so where my wife went, "Is her hand out?"
Yeah,
and I went, "Shh."
It was an easy catch, but they did the callback of Orton Cena where she's getting hit with the kendo sticks. She was hanging and stuff. That's a great callback. I loved how the zip ties came off where she was trying to cut it with the extinguisher and then she just went underneath the ring and then came back with them off. So she just cut them underneath the ring and she took them off. Magic. Thought the match was really good though. Bayley getting involved continues, the story of her and Lyra. I think Bayley's going to be the one to eventually beat Becky and take the belt off of her, and then they're going to continue Lyra, Becky, Bayley. But the match was fire. I said last week, and I said during my stream, Lyra, each match that goes by continues to prove that she is like she's in the tier of like some of the best NXT call-ups as far as match quality. Since she's been called up, I don't think she's had a bad match. I think you put her against anyone, she delivers, and she's becoming a superstar that you can trust. And I think is at some point going to have to be moved up, elevated to the world championship picture. Because this is great, this program with the IC title, but at some point she's got to be elevated because she's too damn good to not be going after world championships.
I agree, and I hope the creative continues that push because I hope it doesn't become a LA Knight situation and you were once here and you just slowly can disappear.
Yeah. It happens a lot.
It does. And I agree with you. I think this pushes the storyline really good. And I know I'm decked out in LA Knight gear, which would shock people. This isn't normally what I wear. But
I just
it
picked
is
up
an
my kid from school in this outfit.
it is an interesting variable
Uh-huh.
of if you don't continue her push, if you don't continue to elevate, where someone can disappear into.
Yeah, 100%. And I'm hoping Lyra continues. I mean, I think I talked about Liv Morgan being a favorite to win the Royal Rumble. Fuck it. I think Lyra should also be a candidate when that time comes 5-6 months from now. Where she'll be at that point, I think she could be a legitimate contender to win a world championship at that point. Last two matches. This next one, Kyle, unless you have some big points, I am all set with saying what I have to say here and moving on. So Solo Sikoa defeated Jacob Fatu in a steel cage match. All right, Karrion Kross and Sami Zayn was a stinker night one. This was a stinker inside of a cage. Okay.
You have these two
Oh
battle for
my
the worst match of SummerSlam.
dude, it was so bad. Hate I just hate this the bloodline shit, okay? It was one thing when it was involved with Roman and Jay and all this stuff. Now we got a guy called Talatonga who is named Talatonga because he's tall. That's the name we give him because of his height. We have JC Mateo, formerly known as Jeff Cobb, who is a killer in New Japan. I, he's gotten one win, I think, he's been on the main roster, a singles win. It's every match. What I watched at SummerSlam is what I watched on SmackDown this past week. I feel like it was just a SmackDown segment at SummerSlam, and I'm not the one to complain about, oh, he walked through the door, like whatever. Like that's happened many times in many steel cage matches. Like it is what it is, but the nature of it and how it happened, it's like you knew it was gonna happen, but when it actually was happening, it's worse than you expected it to be. And what pissed me off the most, my biggest, this honestly may have grinded my gears more than it should have, and more than most things that happened this night, was they had Jacob Fatu do the moonsault spot
Right.
after the match.
Right.
Why didn't you have Jacob Fatu do it during the match? You take that, you take a 2-star match. I'm giving you 5 because of that spot. I'm giving you 5
Right.
because a man like Jacob Fatu shouldn't be doing that shit. We're talking about Jeff Hardy fucking doing Whisper in the Winds. Now we have fucking Jacob Fatu, who has got at least 100 pounds on the motherfucker, doing backflips, moonsaults on the people. But we saved that when the match was over? Come on. What are we doing? What are we doing?
Why are we needing handcuffs? First of all,
he broke out of the handcuffs. We didn't even know. They cut the camera from him, and all of a sudden he's running like a bat out of hell.
Yeah.
I'm like, where is he? He just broke out? Like we didn't get to see that happen.
He snaps the cuffs, which I thought was a great spot. If they would have made it
showed, if they showed it,
you shouldn't be able to walk through the gate.
I agree with that. That's a
you
fair
should have
point.
to climb the
That's
gate,
a fair point.
climb the cell, because then he's handcuffed. You're climbing. You have the visual trying to grab him. You break the chain. Like there's so much artistically you can do in there. But why? Why the hell?
It doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. Jesse Ventura almost had a stroke at Saturday Night Main Event when Damian Priest walked out of the cage against Drew McIntyre, rightfully so. But it's like you know what they're gonna do when that door opened up and Jacob was trying to walk out, whatever, and Solo came back. Kyle, I would have bet anybody on this earth every dime to my name that they're gonna shut that door on his head and Solo's gonna come out. It's whole every classic heel way to end a steel cage match that has someone has a group. That's how it ends. It bores me. It makes no sense. And this is no slight to Solo or Jacob, okay? Because I'm happy Solo won. I just want him to get a definitive, clean win. Like him beating Jacob by climbing over the cage or something like that, or whatever. Like that does so much for him. And like Jacob is such this monster, this force. They're great. But Solo Sikoa needs to feud with people that aren't in his fucking family. He hasn't been involved in a story that isn't involving his family in 3 years.
Right.
Have him defend the belts against people that aren't fucking Samoan or have tribal tattoos.
Well, and
like,
that's my thing is that they wanted to strap the rocket onto Jay.
Sure.
Put Jay,
and it works.
Jay, and I'm using words from Unreal. Mm-hmm. So for people who have watched, Triple H says, I'm going to strap a rocket on you.
Yep.
They find out that the real talent and the real Mike holder is Solo. So they start pushing Solo. I think this was the time for Jacob to unleash a beating on Solo,
Mm-hmm.
and you totally get the support for Solo.
Yep.
Win, hate or lose, you either love that he just got beat up,
Yep.
or you hate that it happened to him, and that's how you push him forward.
Yep.
I don't feel that Cell did anything to push the story forward to make it more thrilling
Yep.
or to make it a weapon.
This
There
match
was
didn't.
nothing there that was like, "Ooh, this is a cage match."
This match did nothing for either superstar. I
Correct.
don't.
It
I don't
hurt,
think
and I
this.
think it actually hurt them.
It hurt them more than it would help them. If honestly, I just don't. This didn't accomplish anything. Jacob Fatu proves that he can't beat the MFTs, my family tree, whether it's a steel cage or not. Solo Sikoa wins because of the help of his family, but it's one thing when Roman Reigns was doing it. Solo Sikoa isn't Roman Reigns yet. We need to have him get those definitive wins so we can believe him as a champion. I like Solo. I like the character he has. I like the direct what he's doing now post him being Roman Reigns, side man, whatever, side piece. It's just they're not doing them any favors by having matches like this. They're not. And moving on from that, we talked about that way longer than I thought we would. That I thought that match was literally pure garbage. I hated it. But the last match we have of SummerSlam, Dominic Mysterio defeating AJ Styles in what was, I like to believe, a tribute to Eddie match because
100%.
so
And
many callbacks, the entrance, the gear, it was awesome. It was so cool. So cool to see him.
and I think that's the gear that rivals CM Punk's for best gear of SummerSlam.
I think it was the best gear at SummerSlam. I think I'd put AJ's ahead of it because it wasn't. He had Styles written on the back and everything.
He
Like
had
it was
Styles on the back.
personalized and
His son
everything.
has bleach blonde hair, much like Dom did.
So I was so confused. I was like, is that a kid that they brought in to make look like the adult version of Dom when he had the bleach blonde hair? But that's his son.
That was his son.
That was his son. I was like, wow, that's funny.
Yeah.
I thought it was just a really cool, obviously AJ trolling. He's been trolling Dom this entire feud, coming out with Eddie's entrance, the lowrider, the gear. AJ Styles putting on a performance, still proving that he is one of the best in the world, even at his older age. Dominic Mysterio was getting worked, but good heel win. And
Yeah.
I like to think of Solo and Dom, why can't they have Solo do what Dom's doing, where he won the cheap way, his boot came out, got that, whatever, but no Judgment Day members came down to help him. He
That's
did
what
it
I want.
on his
I hate all
own.
the
And
interference.
that's why I love Dom's reign. And it's subjective. Everyone's, has their opinions, but I like Dom's reign because these title defenses, some of them have not needed outside interference. Yes, he's cheating, but he's doing it alone, and it's his character, so it works. And I thought it was a perfect ending. It was really a great match overall. I could have
I
been I
agree.
was fine with AJ if he won, but Dom continuing this reign, and I think we talked about it last week. They put the AAA championship on him, and he's 2-belt Dom. That's money. They're gonna
I
sell a
agree.
lot. They're gonna sell a lot with
And
that.
the pop he got, because I watched the video you told me to
Yeah,
watch. Yeah,
unreal.
100%.
Dude,
That's what
he
happened.
had if you could see he had fucking goosebumps. He
Yeah.
didn't expect that pop. So they're gonna set him up for a good end of the year, I think. And yeah, that's all we have for the SummerSlam matches. Let's I don't know if there's anything else you had to add, Kyle. If there was any other notes you had that you wanted to share.
Well, only because there was so much of this person.
Mm-hmm.
When you think of a host of SummerSlam,
Oh my god. What do you expect from them?
you expect
You,
someone
you,
to come out, give a thrilling performance,
you expect them
captivate
to
the
be
audience.
shown on TV at least once.
Just a few times. You're the
Mhm.
official host of the event, the first 2-night event. Yeah, you come out, you sing a song, and you say goodbye.
Yeah.
That is your host of SummerSlam, ladies and gentlemen, Miss Cardi B, who needed to be there.
Yeah.
Couldn't have missed it. She
Yeah.
needed to be there.
It was they showed her the first night in the crowd. Okay. And then they didn't show her the rest of the night. I'm like, well, maybe they're just saving her for night two. Night one is, not as entertaining as night two, more bigger matches, whatever. Did they even show her night two?
I didn't see her.
I didn't see her. I did. Maybe I missed it when I was out. I took Tony for a walk at one point to go to the bathroom. Maybe that's when it happened. I didn't notice anything.
In the comments, if you saw Cardi B more
Please.
than that one time,
It's like,
give us a
where's Waldo?
timestamp. We'll go back
It's
and
like
check it out.
it's like, where's Waldo? Did Cardi B show up? Was she on our screen on night 2? I don't think she was. I don't know. But yeah, that 100% was just a marketing ploy. That was them getting Cardi B's name on there. She promoted it, do Twitter. I think she maybe did some press stuff. I don't know, but yeah,
Other
no.
than that, here's two things.
What are your thoughts? Can I ask you one question really quick?
Let's do it.
What are your thoughts on the 2 nights?
I don't think night 1 proved that it needs to be a 2-night event.
Sure.
That's my. If you take out the cage match, you take out Karrion Kross. There's some matches that just felt like they were made for TV, and we're filling this. I don't know. It was an all right. It was a good SummerSlam, but I don't think it had the punch of a one night. Like, oh my, I don't know. For me, it was. It would have been, I think, a really good SummerSlam. With one night, you have cash in, and you bring Brock. Like,
sure.
But
everything else,
I don't know if it filled out a 2-night event.
Well, good news is TKO has plans underway to introduce more 2-night pay-per-views in the future, with Survivor Series 2026 and Royal Rumble 2027 being at the top of the list, with Money in the Bank also being in the mix. So
female Money in the Bank night 1, male Money in the Bank night 2.
Hey, it makes sense, right? It writes itself. Yeah,
if we're gonna do that, can we just do night 1 is like Evolution?
Well, or at what night 1 do like Raw, night 2 Smack, like separate the brands or something like that too, or like I don't know. Maybe that's not. No, I don't think I'd be interested.
I just don't think it needs to be 2-night events.
No, no, because Royal Rumble, they're gonna do men's Rumble one night, women's Rumble the next night. Survivor Series, maybe they do a 5-on-5 or War Games match one day, a War Game. They'll find ways to justify it, but it's bullshit. Triple H and TKO's like they're doing this because we're trying to make it like a Disney trip, he said, where it's like people can plan a trip around it. It's a long weekend.
But okay,
fuck
I'm
that.
A Vacation Club member. Let me speak to you from a Disney professional.
Please.
From someone who might go 4 times a year. Let's talk about that.
Go, please. Pop off.
You're going to give me a Disney experience.
Mm-hmm.
I go to Disney. I'm not in the parks 100% of the time. I'm at my resort. I'm at the pool. I'm at a dining experience.
Absolutely.
So you're going to tell me you want to make a Disney experience. You better make that accessible. Disney prices out a lot of people. And for that, I agree with a lot of the critics.
Yep.
But if you're going to make this a family-friendly Disney experience, you better start offering some more accessible events that these families can sign up and go to.
Not only is Kyle a Disney adult member of all this, but he also is a father to a 6-year-old. So he knows what he's talking about.
Normally traveling to Disney with a 6-year-old. It is not just me and a
father. He is a father and a loving husband, ladies.
I am a father and a husband and a son of a plumber.
Yes.
So
have all those titles.
My thing is just that if you're going to make it like that, it needs to fill out, and you need to give itineraries and allow people to plan out something that doesn't cost $10,000.
It's crazy. It's insane. And also it's like when you're buying tickets, right? Night 1 or night 2, they announce the cards so late where it's like, you want tickets to night 2, right? You want to take your kid to SummerSlam. Let's go night 2. It's the last show. You think it's going to be bigger. Oh, well, your kid's the biggest Jey Uso and Roman Reigns fan, and they're on night 1, but night 1 is not nearly going to be as good as night 2. You're not getting your money's worth. So now you're in a position. I'm not a father. I hope, knock on wood, it doesn't happen anytime soon, so I don't find myself in this position. How am I going to be like, no, we can only go one night? I'm going to be like, we have to go both nights. And then that jacks. It's a nightmare. I can only imagine.
But this is what I mean is you can say we're not going to go to the event, but we're going to go to the character breakfast.
And
we're going to have a fast pass for the Superstore, and we're not going to do this. Disney, there is always another outlet for you to do when you don't have the
Sure.
fast pass or you can't
Mhm.
get on the ride yet.
You have options.
WWE doesn't have that criteria or that build out yet. Also,
Mhm.
people pay to go for a week. You're making people pay for 48 hours what
'Cause
a
you're
Disney experience costs a week.
because you're also talking about the weekend, but also Friday and Monday,
You want to go
SmackDown
to
and Raw
SmackDown because you
also
want to
gonna
see
be uh,
beforehand.
dude,
Saturday, Sunday. Then you
I
want to go to Monday Night Raw. It's all in the same area.
it's disgusting. And it's like if I'm in that position, like I have to get 2 night tickets with my kid, I'm be like, well, you're gonna get to meet your great grandfather because we're gonna be up in the fucking clouds in heaven. You know what
Right.
I mean? Like that's who we're gonna be watching this event with because we're not gonna be able to be on a eye level view here.
Correct.
It's disgusting, really. What? Because listen, they try to preach it, they try to say, cover it with the Disney stuff and everything, but it's because you're money hungry, and you can get an extra few $1,000 out of people because people are going to spend the money, and that's an issue with anything because I think that's driving in people that just have money to go to these things and treat it as a whatever. The diehard fans are being left out that can't afford to these. And I think the same with basketball, like the Boston Celtics TD Garden is awful. It's terrible because now you go
Oh,
to a
all these
Celtics
arenas.
game, it's all of them, but like especially like just the prices. It's insane. You drive out the hardcore fans, you don't see that electricity in the crowds maybe as much as before again because the people there might not be crazy big fans, like they might know what's going on but they're casuals, they're not going to react the same way hardcore fans might. So it really is a shame that this is the direction they go down. Not surprised by it, but the more they do this, the more they're driving out hardcore dedicated fans, and that's a shame.
And I want to stand here on this pedestal to let those fans know there is a place for you at AEW.
Oh my god,
And
it's
I
not
just
even
don't live
close.
in a time zone or have a childless life where I can enjoy New Japan Wrestling. But I will
This
stand here and say there are those two places
There are
as well.
options, guys.
There
Like
are
that's the
options.
thing is WWE, they're not the best at giving the fans what they want, and sometimes they fucking give you some bullshit. They just give you some stuff you don't want, and that's the beauty of wrestling is that you don't just have to watch WWE. There's AEW, there's New Japan, there's Noah, there's fucking Stardom, there's GCW, I may have CZW, whatever. There's so many different companies that you can watch that will cater your needs, and it's not just WWE. It's not just black and white. You have options. Kyle, you did have a few things to say, I believe, earlier before I asked you about the 2 night thing. Do you
Oh
want to?
no. Oh, other than just saying street fights, because we were talking, we started off with the street fight.
Yep. Yep.
I just wish we could go back to like grocery store brawl, brawl on a bridge.
Oh my God, man. The
Like there
things.
just used to be some legit, like we're on a street in the middle of the city on location fights.
We don't get that enough.
Booker
Boiler Room
T and
Brawl.
Austin was in the grocery store.
It's an iconic match,
There's
iconic
one that's
segment.
on a bridge that I can't. I have the faces. I can't. The names just
They
escaped my
used to
head.
do fun ones. It was like Chavo and CM Punk had a
Someone went off the bridge. I think they
yeah.
threw someone off of a bridge.
John Cena attitude adjusted Edge off of into a gulf of water at one point. That
Yes.
could be that match. Chavo and CM Punk did it. It was like Gulf of Mexico match, I think they called it back in the day.
It's Gulf of
But
America, Dante.
this is Gulf of America now to be politically correct, guys. This was 2008. Yeah, no, I mean, like I said earlier, they have a bunch of different names for the match. Is that it's all the same thing? They don't differentiate it, but they should be a differentiating part. If it's a street fight, that means you got to get away from the ring. You got to go anywhere else. And if it's no DQ, no count out, sure, do your thing, no holds barred. I don't even know what the difference with all that is. So, but that is SummerSlam weekend. We didn't get to talk about anything else because honestly, there really was nothing else to talk about. It was just SummerSlam. Raw is on tonight. I don't know. I think Roman Reigns is rumored to be there. I don't think John Cena, Brock Lesnar. I don't know what's going on
Do
with
we get
them.
an explanation about Brock?
Honestly, dude, I don't know. Someone told me that Cena isn't showing up for another few weeks. So I don't even know if we'll get a continuation on this for another few weeks. This could be like a Cena turning heel type thing, and then we don't see him for a bit without an explanation.
Back
I
in the
can't
cards.
imagine Brock's going to show up without Cena being there. Maybe he does, but
Oh, well.
I don't fucking know.
Tune in
Well,
tonight. We'll find
yeah,
out.
tune in tonight and all week. Thank you guys so much for another great episode of Break It Down. Kyle, second episode under your belt. Thank you for being here. Thank you for being an amazing co-host. Thank you guys for watching. Hope you enjoyed this, and we will be seeing you all week. Peace out, guys.